Welcome to another episode of Growth Unlock. Today I'm thrilled to have Peter, the founder and CEO of Mountain Drop, joining us along with his CMO, Jure. Welcome, guys. Great to have you with us.
Hello.
Hello, thanks for having us.
It's a pleasure. So, Peter, you have built something truly remarkable over the past 13 plus years. A premium Shilajit company that's not just survived, but thrived in an increasingly competitive market by staying true to quality and innovation. And I'm excited to dive into this philosophy of building sustainable foundations rather than chasing quick wins. Your journey, unique approach, the marketing strategies, especially with you, you're executing on everything that Peter has a vision for, and basically what you guys done to keep you ahead of the curve. So diving straight in, what I'm interested in is building Mountain Drop around a premium middle class positioning, right? Avoiding both the cheap knockoffs and overpriced mediocre products. Can you walk us through your decision making process and execution when you first established this positioning and how this strategy helped you, whether there is an influx of competitors, for example, Alibaba, right, selling $2 alternatives at half your price?
So everything started around 14, 15 years ago when I had a vision that we should bring some value to people with real food supplements. And at that time, we were looking how to find good things from Mother Nature that it isn't spoiled by humans with too much pollution. And we found different suppliers from the Himalayas, Altai Mountains. And at that time, we found that there is a huge difference between prices, quality of these suppliers. And at the beginning of the story of Mountain Drop, we didn't do this way to find the cheapest price to sell the highest, but what we did, we chose the best possible quality. And before entering the market, we gave 100 pieces for free to people. And I told them, all I need from you is just a feedback. And after the feedback that I got from these 100 people, I said, we have the good quality, we move forward. So everything was based on real results, that people had results, not just something that somebody wrote something on the paper and said this is the best quality. No, we were really chasing the best possible results so that people are satisfied with the quality and with the results. So this is how everything started, and during the journey we will discuss these things. Quite a lot of things happened. One part of this story from the beginning, it was how to bring real quality and value to our customers. So, and from that point on, everything started. And maybe Jure, you can also speak something about how we started also the marketing from the beginning and what is the difference, what we are doing now, how Trustpilot changed the things.
Yeah, I mean, from the beginning, I think the issue was how to even position ourselves in this. It was a very emerging market. Like Shilajit was not known a few 5, 6 years ago. It was a very niche product. So we needed to figure out whether we want to be like a premium, like a middle class, and even then Peter had the vision that we would sell like a premium, really premium product. So we started building it, and I think the first thing we had to do was redo our website. Probably when you go to marketing, it's the first connection somebody gets with your product. And then, of course, we had to turn to the design of the product itself. So the packaging and everything else that comes with it. And from there onward, I think there was always like a clear mission of selling the best product. So for us, it was like very natural to progress to where we are now. Like Peter went through a lot of Shilajit before we found one that was up to our standards. because there is a lot of bad Shilajit out there, and you have to look carefully at what you're going to sell. Because if you want to, at least in the long run, succeed, you have to, at least my opinion, have the best of the best. So I think it was then easy to execute on this because we had the background, we had the product, we then designed the proper packaging, and from, like I said, onwards there, it was like a natural progression to where we are now.
Yeah, yeah, I love this approach because I always claim that the product comes first and you can do all the beautiful marketing, all the campaigns that are available, but unless you're able to really deliver on a promise, you're just shooting yourself in the foot. Even like the claims in the marketing like are not really there or the benefits do not really make sense because you're not really sure what the product does unless you really tested it and see for yourself like how it's actually changing the life. So this is really really important, and I would be interested in diving a little bit deeper on this, Peter, of like how long did it take you and maybe how many suppliers did you need to go through to really find that one supplier that met your criteria.
So altogether, I think it was around 10 different suppliers. Everybody were claiming at that time that they had the best Shilajit that is possible. Then that some were telling who had prices really in the sky. They were telling we have sun-dried Shilajit, our is premium, the best one, what is possible, the golden grade Shilajit and something like this. So it was really very hard to find what is the true one because everybody was selling the gold. Prices was from here to here and I didn't know what to choose. So at that time, what we did, we used one is laboratory analysis. So this is the analysis where you measure the ingredients inside, heavy metals and all these things. But what we also did, I had one experience from the past, from one mineralian that we were selling very, very well, that if the product has very good energy and cleanness of this energy, then the impact on human body will be much greater than if the energy of the product is very low. So to give you a brief explanation, even if you do not know anything about these energy fields, if you taste the vegetable or fruit from your garden, it's totally different taste than if you have it where there are a lot of pesticides and herbicides. So even the taste is different. And these things you can measure. Some people who use these things with pendulum, they can measure the energy of this. And I found this correlation between results and the product by itself. And we also did this. So we did two different tests. One is this official laboratory, and another one is how is the energy in this resin. And the decision it was we went with best possible Shilajit that we got. I wasn't looking the prices. I was checking just the quality because I knew if the quality is great, people will have the results. If they will have the results, they will buy again. They will tell friends. They will tell to other people. And for that reason, this was my approach from the beginning. And I can tell you that from 10 different suppliers, now we have two, one from Altai Mountains, one from the Himalayas.
Mm.
And until now, I didn't find anyone else to have the similar energy like with this one that we are having now. And we are getting new suppliers all the time. They want us to sell their Shilajit. And I always tell them, send us the samples and I will let you know. And until now, and it was more than 10 years, we are with the ones that it was from the beginning.
Wow. And this just goes to prove like how important again is spending time, spending resources to really getting the product right because of how long, because if you have the wrong foundations, you can really build a house on wrong foundations. It won't last, right? One storm and it goes down. Like this is the exact scenario of how you need to really build a brand so you have strong foundations that you can actually build on, right? And that leads me to basically what we spoke of the podcast, as you are one of the first, if not the first company globally to successfully combine the Shilajit resin with honey and herbs, right? So you're creating these power blends, you call them. So what led you to this breakthrough, and even more so, like, why are you even pushing it to the next level? Because you obviously have the Shilajit, amazing product by itself. What are you trying to achieve with these power blends, and maybe how are you protecting this innovation from copycats? Because of course there's lots of people that would love to have similar success that you have.
So after this, Jure will tell you more about all these researches that was done before we launch any power blend, because it is not just like this, so we will launch this power blend. So there are a lot of research that Jure does, and he will tell you more about this. And from my side, the idea how everything came up, as Jure said, in the beginning, there was almost no company in European Union selling Shilajit resin in its original form. It was only one company in USA. And two years ago, a lot of companies pops up, started selling Shilajit. Some of them have good quality, most of them, I will not say anything. But at that point, I realized, as you also mentioned in introduction, you can get Shilajit resin from Alibaba for $2 under your own brand. And at that point, I realized, even if we succeeded to went to a much bigger scale of sales than from our beginning, I find out that this competition started lowering our sales because people started buying their Shilajit. And at that point, I was thinking what I can do differently that other cannot copy me. Because I knew if they do not have a good quality of Shilajit, they will not be on the market for the long term. Because people will buy it, but then they will not buy it again because they will not have the results. And I was thinking what to do in this time in between, because a lot of companies went to the market with their Shilajit brands. And I was thinking what we can do that they cannot copy us so easily. And I came to idea that according to Ayurveda, Shilajit was mixed with other herbs to enhance their potency. And I started thinking, what if we mix these things and we do it with honey, so with one natural form, because nobody else is doing these things. And it's not so easy to do it. You can mix powder, but to mix this with honey and resin, it's not so simple. And in this journey, it was quite interesting because it was also a question what to put inside. You cannot mix just any herbs that you can find. And I think more about this, Jure will tell you, and about the researches that he's doing.
Yeah, well, I think I'd also like to add that even honey was in a lot of ways made out of as a response to the demands of the market. While we always, like Peter said, there was always like strategic thinking on what to do next. We always took into account actually what people want. So we listened to a lot of feedback, or at least we try to, because we get a lot of it from customers. And just at the beginning, one of the biggest issue was that it tastes bad. So Peter came up with the idea that we would actually just mix it with honey. It was sweeter, it was tastier, and people responded to it. It was a good product that solved like a need. So naturally, we then progressed to a more complex mix, which was with ashwagandha. However, Shilajit it's a very good base for a lot of stuff because it's very universal. It's not really focused on one aspect of health. It's even known like as a general health booster. Again, from the feedback we got, we saw that people, again, males predominantly, of course, have issues with testosterone. So naturally, we made a testosterone booster because Shilajit itself is a good libido booster. Actually, it was known and respected because of this for like thousands of years, probably.
Mm.
So anyway, we then decided how to build upon what we offer and how to also offer the people what they want. You know, you can't just make anything you want. The product has to have like a purpose and it needs to solve some problem. Otherwise, nobody will buy it.
Mm.
And that's how we made Prime actually. But like Peter said, it's not easy to make this and even these recipes. This was not like made with ChatGPT in one afternoon. There was a lot of research behind it, a lot of hours spent, a lot of research read to actually understand what's going on and then just mixing it. And this is what probably separates us from everybody else. We own our own manufacturing now.
Mm.
A lot of money was invested into new machinery, new spaces. So we actually control every part of the production now. And this is how we also maintain the quality that we otherwise can't guarantee. And it was something that really then put us above everybody else because we can control what we make, how we make it. So from step one to until it goes out of our production, we control everything. And if we want to have some sort of quality and standard, then this is like a very big step. So this is where we also differ from all the AliExpress Shilajit. I get a lot of questions from customers when they tell me they bought like some cheap Shilajit and then it's sweet, tastes weird, it's very watery, and yeah, they're probably buying something for $5 to $6 and it's not working.
Mm.
Of course, like Peter said, then they don't return. Because if they want to build a lasting, I think, with a customer, if you want them to come back, they have to have the benefits and they have to have the quality, and they usually go hand in hand. So that is like our whole philosophy to offer like really high quality mixes, mixes we make ourselves, mixes of quality we control. And this way, when somebody orders with us, they feel safe with ordering and they feel safe with ordering again because they know they can expect a certain standard. And that's what actually really sets us apart. Like we got good products and we have everything to prove the quality.
And
I really love this because, to be honest, it's not the most important thing to actually spend tons of money and go into research for if you're starting a new product. But you guys are basically starting with the basics, right? Like just listening to your customer, understanding what their problem is with your current version of the product, improving on it. And it's the simple stuff, really just giving them
Yeah,
what they want you, right? To give them. And again, this is like the playbook example of how you should be building a successful brand because you have lots of patience, you really care about your customers, and you're doing it for the long-term effects of really keeping the customer for as long as possible, which is the only way how it should be done. So I really love this approach, but of course I suppose that it's also have some kind of order to it, right? Like you first understand your customers, you start experimenting, you then just do a couple of samples, maybe you figure out how you can manufacture it, you test it first, and then you obviously buy maybe more machines and you invest heavy into manufacturing when you actually have a product that you again verify with your customers that it's something that they need and want.
yes, and also from the beginning, like Jure said, in the beginning we didn't have spoon inside the Shilajit resin, and also the lid in between was not the same as it is now.
Mm.
And when we were getting in the past complaints from our customers that they have problems here, 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 and here, we always used these complaints how we can do it better. We didn't say they told that something is wrong with us. No, our approach was they are missing something. How can we deliver this to our customers?
Mm.
There was quite a lot of changes done until now from the beginning. This is, like Jure said, building one community and trust with clients. Because of this trust, from the beginning, I also saw that you have two different approaches that people usually do in business. One is companies selling things for very, very cheap price, but also the quality is, I don't know how they can do it with these prices, but okay. Then there is, and another where there are huge companies with a very renowned name, but when you look on the label, you will see that there are ingredients inside that are not the best one. And I was thinking, we will not be here. We won't be here because, and then I said, we will position ourselves in the higher middle class, but with the awareness that there are best possible ingredients you can get on this planet Earth for reasonable price. So it is not the brand and selling some things inside that are not okay. There is no brand for the lowest price what you can get, but best possible ingredients that you can get on this planet for a reasonable price.
And I'm sorry, I'd just like to add that Peter is not exaggerating here. We could cut quite a few corners, and most people probably wouldn't even notice them, but we never choose to do that. Even if one of the ingredients is more expensive, if we know this is the one that's going to work, then that's the one that we use. It has its drawbacks, but we don't compromise on quality.
Yes, this is something I'm always telling to my team, that our clients can argue about price, can argue about whatever they want, but not about the quality. The quality is something that we must deliver, and there is no doubt about it. And from the beginning, I was also thinking how we can deliver this trust to our clients. And one thing was a Trustpilot. So there are sincere reviews, and we are the only company in the world selling Shilajit-based products with almost 1,000 reviews and 4.8 from 5 star. So this is something that I know that with so much reviews, customers, what they are telling, they speak by themselves. And this was also one part of thinking, and another part it was what we can also do. And from the beginning, I found out that almost nobody has any certificates. And then I said, we will go with HACCP, GMP, ISO, EFS. These are certificates that we will show to our customers that we care for them. It's not something necessary that we must do, but we decided to do it and invest here. Why? Because we want transparency with our clients. I can tell you what's competition doing now. They are stealing our certificates, putting on their web pages and all these things, using my videos that you recorded and link to their Shilajit web page. So it's quite a funny what people are willing to do just to earn money.
It just goes to prove that you're going the right direction, like you're doing stuff right, and that's why it's working for you.
I mean, we've had people copy our complete website. I mean, not like exact copy because they didn't have the knowledge, but it was very, very similar. Somebody literally just went and copy pasted everything they could. They had our documents in there, and it was not an isolated case. But yeah, you can take it as a way of doing something right, actually.
We have a compliment.
Yeah, most definitely.
And I'm interested because, of course, like right after the quality of the product, right after listening to your customers, you of course get these amazing testimonials, amazing case studies, and Trustpilot is a very great move because, of course, there's so many review platforms and there's so many brands that do have fake AI generated reviews on their site, but Trustpilot is something different, right? And I'm interested from like the marketing perspective, right? Because it's one thing having them on your site and kind of convert people that are just going for the site, learning a little bit more. But how are you leveraging these in the marketing specifically when you're trying to win over or educate customers who might be tempted to maybe go to cheaper alternatives?
It's we use it in several ways actually. One of the most common uses is we use it in email marketing. And for starters, it's in every email, like in the footer. You can have like a widget that updates it automatically. So you have the most recent reviews, number of reviews, stars, and we also have campaigns just about it where we share our like favorite reviews. People respond really well to those. Well, you just say these are my favorite reviews of the month. I'm sharing them. People then read good feedback on your products, and it's one of the ways you can then put them, of course, on your ads on, let's say, Meta or Instagram. You can, if you have the score to put it. I think it's a strong selling point. If they see 940 reviews, score 4.8, it's a strong statement. And of course, it's everywhere on the website. It's under the price. There's a bigger widget then a bit lower. And I personally got a lot of feedback that people decided to buy our product just because we had good reviews on Trustpilot. Because I do agree there's a lot of confusion here, and while I don't want to mention anyone particular, at least in Shilajit, I don't know how it's everywhere else, but I've seen the website and then they have like 20,000 reviews and it's like 5 stars or 10,000. And it's like there's no way some people left you 15, 20,000 reviews. We've worked really hard for them and it takes time. And people are actually starting to notice. I mean, they're not stupid. You can just get away with it for so long, but after they start seeing the same pattern everywhere, coming off is like legit and actually being able to prove everything we talked about really proved to be like invaluable, actually. I think it's a very strong converter. Even if you only have it on your website, or if you get a lot of hits, people search for products on Trustpilot itself, then they order. So it's a wonderful tool and it's really versatile to use actually. Ads and website, emails. You can make posts about it, you can share reviews just like on social media, so very versatile and useful.
Yeah, very nice. And I really like kind of how it comes together because you pretty much just started with an amazing product. You then listen to your customers and improve the product to fit what they really need. And then you just basically collected bunch of case studies, bunch of testimonials that just prove how good of a service you have. So you have basically the main building blocks of a very good company, of a very good brand. Continuing that marketing perspective, we've had a conversation, Peter, before that you've had this marketing intern or a team that basically wanted to run a discount heavy campaign, right? And didn't really follow in the brand guidelines and the brand values. So what I'm interested in learning from you is with all of the building blocks positioned correctly, and of course you want to keep the brand positioning in some extent, right? How are you structuring your marketing around this? How are you sharing your values with that? And how are you kind of balancing the pressure for immediate sales with growth that is stretched over long term that maintains the brand integrity?
So what I didn't want from the beginning to have huge discounts, because with these huge discounts you are telling to people, hey, we are selling for this, but we can also sell for this price, and they will get used to this price. There was one company, I don't know if they are doing still now, they were selling their Shilajit 50% off. And I was speaking with Jure and I told him, look, 50% off, this is not reasonable. This is not a way to go. And what happened? Jure told me a few months ago that those company is getting complaints when they raise the price. Because
Yeah, they sorry to interrupt. They removed the 50% discount.
And I told Jure that he will speak more about how many discounts we gave. But what I told my team from the beginning, it is that value should have its price, because we do not want customers who wants to buy for the cheapest price, because these are not our customers, because they will change all the suppliers just to get the cheapest one. And I said, I do not want this. I said what I want are customers who wants the quality, but for reasonable price. So not for the price that's exaggerated, some luxury that only few percent of people can afford, but for reasonable price. And I was always thinking like this, that you cannot go to one shop that has very good things with good quality and you negotiate about prices. So if you go, you buy it. If you don't have money, you do not buy it. And I want also the same things for mountain drop. So quality is not negotiable. So there is a quality. There is one reasonable price. So we have promotions also for Black Friday and when you enroll on our newsletter. But these are reasonable discounts. And I can speak more about it.
Yeah, so at the beginning, or rather the first part, we used to give not like really a lot of discounts, but a reasonable number. And like Peter said, this wasn't the way to go because the company we talked about, they removed the 50% discount, and then they got a bunch of complaints like, what's wrong? Why are you removing? I'm not gonna buy here again. So by devaluing your own product like this, you're setting up yourself to fail. And guess what? They're selling again now with the 50% discount. So they've caught themselves in a trap of devaluing their own product with what probably worked at the beginning quite well. I mean, if you package it right, and you put like a big discount, you'll probably get quite a lot of people. Then it becomes your business model, and then you're trapped in it. We do give out discounts. It's not like we don't give anything. The first order always gets one. We have a system in place, a loyalty system where people collect we call them drops because we're mountain drop, but essentially they're just loyalty points. So depends on how much they buy, they get 1 point, and then they can exchange them for store credit next time they order. And the more they buy, the more they're rewarded with more points. And it's actually a nice system to reward people without devaluing yourself with too many discounts. So it was a nice balance for us to find. And yeah, because at the end of the day, we're still a business. We need to make money. Some people come to live chat and they're like, can you give me 30-40% off? I'm sorry, but these are not like cheap products and they're very expensive to make, and we still have to make some money. So it's more fair to everybody, I think. We do give back and we do give discounts, but we don't just overwhelm everybody and try to win them on our side with this, because in the long run, that's not sustainable, I think.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I agree that I like the gamification of the process, like introducing the drops or any kind of interesting way of people keep coming back, not only for the product itself but for the game that you play around it, and kind of playing the retention game from different perspectives. So that's definitely a good move on your end as well. And we're getting to the juicy stuff, which I really like in terms of marketing. So my next part will be probably more for you, Yura, because I'm very interested for maybe other brands out there also in a position like, okay, we have good product, we have couple of case studies, we want to really make the acquisition of new customers work for us and ideally make profit, so we can actually invest more into retention, invest more into increasing ad spend, etc. Right? So my question to you is like, with the market being flooded by inferior products over the past 2-3 years, how has your customer acquisition strategy evolved? Are you finding it harder to find ideal customers who value quality more of the price, or how are you kind of combating that with education and maybe different channels out there?
It is an issue. However, we invest a lot of energy and work into educating our customers. Like, we write a lot of blogs, and they're always science-based. You always have research linked there. We do try to come up, because this maybe goes back to the premium part. The whole experience with really offering something premium doesn't end with just them buying our product, and that's it. We regularly educate our customers through emails. We don't send that many sales emails because it proved to be much better to actually give people value. Hey, we found this research. It says this and this about Shilajit. Go read about it. We wrote a blog about it. And while it has shifted, I think we invest so much into actually emphasizing all the papers, all the certificates, everything else. People do stay and they are prepared to spend more. Like I think our average order even went up. There's enough people who don't have problem spending money for something they know that's got a high chance to work. And I think we've shifted quite well there. Like I said, we do a lot of educating of people. We try to come off as an authority on Shilajit, which we are in a way. I mean, we do our homework here, definitely. We don't just sell anything. Because I've seen a lot of sellers claim a lot of very ridiculous stuff about Shilajit. There's a whole sea of untruths and lies and basically misinformation out there. And people do appreciate our honesty. And we do try to be honest about everything, very open, everything. All the tests are publicly available. They can find them by batch number, they can find their exact jar. And this level of transparency really helps people to make that decision, to make the order, I think. And that's why it's going so well.
So I suppose that the blogs do work on the SEO level, but also as an education. If someone lands on your website, wants to learn more, right, wants to dive deeper into Shilajit. What I'm interested in like a push marketing. Do you have some specific educational funnels built? Like what kind of strategies are working for you on that turf?
I mean, special education. I don't think we have a lot of people reading our emails, like I said, and that's a great medium for giving your people a lot of information and keeping them in the loop. We got like a very good open rate and stuff. So a lot of people seem to enjoy our emails. We get a lot of good feedback, and that's one of the, I think, most important channels for education. We also make videos, we upload them to YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, whatever you name it. Yeah. I'm not really sure I understand your question in this.
Yeah. What I mean is that with specifically acquisition, right? To win over new clients and to bring in new customers and ideally making it profitable for yourself. Push channels such as Meta, Pinterest, right? Where you're really just getting people or interrupting people with your marketing. Do you have any specific strategies on this platform where really you can just get someone who maybe is aware of a problem but maybe not aware of the brand or the product and really convert them into a customer while maintaining the profitability on the first purchase?
So I think that we just spoke with Jure a few days ago why we have on Meta so huge different creatives for the same product. And he showed me and he told me that it is of huge importance what kind of creative are you using, because different creatives will do different results. So I think Jure can speak more about it also.
I mean, yeah, we do test out a lot of different creatives. It's important to, if you manage to figure out people's problems, then you can probably advertise on them. So yeah, once they get there, we do try to cover everything possible we can about Shilajit, like all aspects of health that we can. These are like very general topics in like what does it do for your general energy too, how does it work on libido, what does it do for blood health. There's a few studies on Shilajit and diabetes. You have studies that just studied, like I said, blood chemistry. So we do try to present ourselves as like the source for information about Shilajit, a legitimate source. And we then try to link our blogs everywhere, of course. And it's a big part of what somebody comes to our website, I think, what makes him sure to make an order. But I think it's more of a retention kind of thing. I don't think new people go to our website and jump immediately to blogs, at least not from the patterns I was watching. I think this is something that comes naturally next once you have somebody ready to order. I see people hearing about Shilajit, they come to your website, they like the design, they like the reviews, the packaging, everything seems good, so they just try it. Then you get their email on the list, and then you can start educating them. And like I said, this educated or value-based content really seems to work well for the existing customers. It's a great retention tool. It's interesting. It teaches them something, and in the same time, it's a good ad for the products itself. Like if you write about a blog, let's say out of my head about Shilajit and libido. There's been quite a few interesting studies made that actually show that it works. And once you present that to people, you get much more authority on the claim. So you gave them something valuable to read, they learned something, and at the same time, they're now like, okay, I need to buy that. If it really works like that, then I need to give it a try. So I think this education comes in the next step rather than the first one.
Gotcha. Gotcha. So you're basically approaching this from like more of like educate and wait perspective, where you're actively bringing new people to the website, but more so to the education for them to kind of learn more, make their own picture, understand what you're doing, and then when they're ready to kind of come in and jump on the product. And that also works well for you not to really be necessarily pushing big discounts to win over customers, but to really win them over on the education and on the actual quality of education that you're providing them.
Definitely. Like I said, we actually don't send that many sales emails because, frankly, people are sick of them. If you open
Yeah.
a Gmail account under, what is it, the promotions, you'll get like 100 different promotions and buy this, buy that. And educating people and giving them good content like this, especially when not a lot of people know much about it, is very, very good for like your reputation and how they perceive you.
And
So yeah,
this is everything on long term. So it is not a short term thing. Now we should earn a lot of money in short time, but it is no. What are the steps that we should do for the long term? And this is something that also differ us from others. And this, what Jure said about educationing and all these things, it's something where you do not earn money today or tomorrow. So it's something where you invest your time, energy, and knowledge to educate your customers. And also sometimes somebody writes to me and ask me for some problems that they are having. And if our products does not cover these things, I tell them sincere, we do not have something that will benefit you. So I do not want to sell something just to sell it. Because I know if he is not satisfied with the result, he will tell bad words to whoever he knows. And I do not want this. So first is value for clients. Money comes second.
Absolutely, and I love this. This is very refreshing because every brand talks about, and it's of course it's important, right? Like your business, you need to make money to stay in the game and really serve customers. But it's very refreshing to hear that many people are going from like very heavily invested funnels that are made to convert the customer on a first click, right? Just educate them within the shortest time possible and make that transition to basically really keeping it open, just providing with the best concierge service pretty much, and then giving them the time to go back or learn a little bit more, and when they're ready you're there basically with everything looking nice and all the assets that they need to make the right informed decision, right?
Yes, there is no push. Now you must buy, otherwise this promotion will be gone or something like this.
Yeah.
So we are not doing it this way.
Amazing. And what we spoke about before, hopefully I can mention that here. So you're reworking the website, you'll have a new version hopefully in the October. So you're getting that customer experience onto the next level as well. And my favorite topic, of course, you're also talking about AI optimization, right? And that's something that I want to really dive into because everybody is going that direction, and I'm very interested in like what does the growth with AI optimization look like for you?
Peter, or should I?
You.
Well, I think AI is a wonderful tool. There's no doubt about it. It's probably one of the biggest technological advancements we've had in as far as I can remember.
Mm.
And whether you like AI or not, I think it's right now a part of everything online. You can do a lot with AI. I think there's an AI is a very powerful tool. It's very useful, but it does come with a few drawbacks, or rather, you know to what point you can rely on it.
Mm.
Like AI is a perfect co-pilot as I see it. It's a very good assistant. It can help you, but there's still a human factor that has to be done by you. Like we're not still at a point where we could like just say to AI, okay, so I need this and this and this, and it writes the perfectly for you. Even with optimizing our website, there will be most likely AI used, if not in refining texts. And we have quite a few AI pictures. I mean, they're obvious one. It's not like we're trying to hide them. They're there for a reason because they look nice. But yeah, I think AI is definitely the tool of the future, and not just for like redoing the website. I think it's for all aspects of business. It can be extremely useful. Of course, you do need to know how to use it. That's first. I
Mm.
think the biggest issue right now is people rely too much on it. So, for like a concrete example, in Shilajit, I see a lot of claims and misinformation about it that I know that it's been written by AI. I'm
Mm.
100% about it. And it mostly comes out of people relying completely on AI. They don't double check the information, just type the thing it gives them, they copy paste it, and that's it.
Mm.
And I think that's one of the biggest issues and even drawbacks that can happen. You can quickly look like you're not really not knowing what you're talking about. An example is a claim that's used for Shilajit all the time is that it's got 80 plus minerals, and that's not even remotely true. It's got 80 plus 5, let's say, beneficial nutrients, which includes vitamins, minerals, amino acids. And for me, it's one of the easiest ways to spot if somebody actually knows what they're selling in terms of Shilajit,
Mm.
or they're just copying the first thing they got. It's everywhere and it's very common. It's getting on my nerves a bit because it's misleading for the end customer. So,
Mm.
like I said, like we do a lot of research, and probably some people would think that it's done with AI. But if you don't have like the knowledge background, AI can make mistakes quickly, and it's very good at like covering the mistakes. It's called hallucinating, and relying too much on it, you won't even know when it's made a mistake because it's very convincing in that way. So while I think it's a great co-pilot, a great assistant, it shouldn't be a replacement for work. So it needs to be used with a it needs to be carefully used and not just like blindly trust it to that it will do everything for you.
And
And
how are you using the AI currently? Like, what is your implementation? I think you mentioned that you're using it for some of the creative making as well.
I mean, it can be used basically anywhere, but when I was saying using correctly, it's more of how to get the most out of it. It's not just do this and do this. You have to know what to ask for, how to ask for. You need to set some criteria for your work. Like you need to instruct it to, let's say, find flaws in your logic in your work. You needed to instruct it to use only verifiable facts, for instance, ones that it can verify on the internet, etc. And there's a lot of ways you can use. Like it's like a car. You don't just buy a new car and sit. If you don't have a driver's exam, you have to learn how to drive it. And it's the same with AI. It's extremely powerful, but I don't think enough people really know how to use it. I mean, for instance, AI even responds very well to a bit of emotional bullying, if I can call it like that. If you make and these are like real world tests, and the differences are noticeable. They're not just like very small. But if you really emphasize the urgency and how important AI's work is and how much it depends on it, it will work better. And I think there's the difference whether you're getting good results or bad results out of it. Some people think that email marketing is just you go to, let's say, Cloud or GPT and go write me an email. No. If you don't know exactly what you want to talk about what topic, from what angle, what do you want to say, what's important for them to hear, then you'll just get something half-baked always. So while I think it's good, too much reliance on AI is still a bit of a trap.
And here, you can also say your experience about live chat and AI when we tried to replace human with AI.
Yeah. I mean, the live service we're using, the live chat video, while it's a great thing, it's very good for converting. It's one of the best things we did. But they really tried to force this AI feature in, and it would go completely wrong and make up discount codes and you name it. And it was a good example of it was advertised to us as like the next best thing. This will take all your work away, only one click and everything will be solved. And in that test period for like 4 or 5 days, I was constantly fixing everything it told to people. Some of the conversations, it just started looping itself. And while they did introduce a new feature that's like a co-pilot that actually analyzes your conversations, and then, of course, builds on it. And then you can, before you send something, you can edit it and fix it. It's much better. It's still not nearly at a point where AI can actually work instead of somebody, like a real human. A lot of questions I get is, are you a real person or a robot?
People are
People
weird.
do still like the personal connection, that's for sure.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I think AI has a lot of potential. And like I said, if you use it correctly and you learn how to use it properly, I think it can be a major, major advantage. It's getting even stronger right now. So anybody who's not using it, I think, is going to be left behind. One of the first things that got into my head when I tried the GPT-2 when it came out a year or two ago, like the first time, it was like first I was mind blown, and then I was okay, I need to start implementing this in my work somehow, or I will be left behind by somebody who will use it.
Yeah. Amazing. Awesome. All right. So my last question to end this off would be probably I usually like to dive deeper into the AI, but I'm very interested in like with all the changes that you're implementing, right, and the direction that you're going, you're planning ahead, right? Is there anything you can share from your big next steps for what you're planning in the next 5 to 10 years, right? Like what kind of direction is Mountain Drop heading and what you kind of maybe even predict in the market happening that you are ready to kind of react to or are ready to tackle?
So, what I can say, I saw that almost no one from competition puts the founder in front. And I spoke with Jure and I told him, what if I put myself with my own story and my experience in my life and my daily routine? What if we do one community with people so that we connect with them also on personal perspective, not just you buy this and you are our customers, no, that we give something more. And this is something what we will do in our next step. And the reason behind this is how we can help people with our own experiences that we had and to build one great story with them together. And for this, you need a real human with real life. So this is something what I can say from my perspective.
Sorry, Peter. Perhaps you could mention that we're doing a big upgrades to our manufacturing,
Yes.
or
Or you can
it's
say.
probably not confidential,
No, you can
I
say.
think.
It's not a problem.
Yeah, Peter has planned a big upgrade to our manufacturing. So a new production line, a better machinery, so our workers will be able to be much more efficient and work in better conditions. So that's, I think, one of the biggest goals right now is to really automate the manufacturing as much as possible because at bigger volumes you can't have people closing each jar by hand. Doesn't make sense. And yeah, again, upgrade in this sense. And like Peter said, we will try to build the brand even around people behind it. I think it's very important, especially when the only connection is through our screens, that people know who they're talking about. They respond really well to this personal touch. They know who is Peter. They know he's behind it, and it's easier to then trust such a company with your money instead of like just a faceless, just one of many pages, which is legit. So this is, I think, one of the biggest things we're going to have to do is build the brand around the people behind it, like really try to connect on the personal level. And it's a long-standing process, but I think we'll manage.
Amazing. I can't wait for that. And I really think that specifically you, Peter, you have such a good leadership in this and going in the direction of really not like I always claim like if you do the opposite of what the market is doing, like you're standing out and you have that unique approach, and that's exactly what I've seen you do with all of these strategic decisions. So I'm very interested in where you end up in the next 5 to 10 years, and hopefully we can have maybe another conversation and you'll share some more wins and some more strategies that have worked over the years. Awesome. Thank you very much, guys. It was amazing. I hope that also our audience can take some valuable lessons of really building a quality product, building a brand around it that really stands for quality, and then just collecting case studies. Everything else just follows. So thank you very much for sharing your stories, and thank you everybody that have tuned in and listened. And I'll see you in the next episode. Have a nice one.
Thank you very much for having us. It was amazing.
Thank you.
Pleasure, guys. Speak soon. Bye.
Bye.